The world of global trade is in constant flux, and trade conflicts can reshape entire economies in unpredictable ways. One of the most prominent ongoing disputes is the economic showdown between the United States and Canada. What began as a dispute over tariffs has become a high-stakes battle impacting industries across borders, changing the very nature of global economic relationships. A single tariff can trigger a chain reaction, affecting industries, jobs, and consumer prices. Countermeasures can force entire economies to reconsider their strategies. Initially, the U.S. sought to assert dominance in trade. But as the conflict with Canada intensifies, the economic consequences are being felt far and wide. What started as a simple tariff issue has become a full-scale economic standoff threatening industries, jobs, and even the foundation of North American trade. With factories closing, jobs at risk, and prices rising for consumers, the situation has escalated well beyond trade rhetoric. So, what triggered this escalation? And what can we expect as the standoff continues? Let's explore the 7 most crucial developments in this ongoing and intensifying economic conflict. Trade conflicts between nations are nothing new, but what sets this one apart is Canada's strategic response to the U.S. tariffs. Instead of retaliating indiscriminately, Canada took a calculated approach, carefully selecting which industries and products to target. The result? An economic shift that's not just about trade, but about sending a message: Canada will fight back without jeopardizing its own economic stability. When the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on Canadian goods, Canada didn't simply impose broad retaliation. It targeted industries with deep political and economic importance. From Kentucky bourbon to Florida orange juice, these products hold symbolic weight in American politics. But it's not just symbolic. It's about hitting U.S. industries where they matter most, at the consumer level. With products like electric vehicles, Canada directly affected U.S. manufacturers in a crucial sector. This carefully designed response isn't just about tariffs, it's a strategic move showing Canada can engage in this trade war without suffering collateral damage, setting the stage for a potentially prolonged standoff with implications beyond North America. The electric vehicle, EV, market is one of the most forward-looking industries in North America, and a major player is Tesla. However, the trade conflict has placed Tesla in a vulnerable position. While known for innovation, Tesla relies heavily on Canadian resources like nickel, lithium, and aluminum, key materials for battery and EV production. Canada, recognizing their importance to Tesla's supply chain, can impose tariffs on these crucial resources, severely disrupting Tesla's production capacity, leading to increased costs and delays. While affecting Tesla directly, the ripple effect goes beyond one company. As the EV sector grows, other automakers also depend on these raw materials. Canada's decision to squeeze supply could cause significant delays in EV production across the board. Investors have already reacted, with stock prices fluctuating due to these trade tensions. As the market adjusts, it's clear the stakes for the EV industry are high, and Canada's strategic moves could play a major role in shaping its future. One of the most overlooked yet critical consequences is the effect on the North American automotive supply chain. Vehicle manufacturing is an intricately coordinated process spanning borders multiple times before final assembly. The U.S., Canada, and Mexico are key players, relying on smooth cross-border trade for efficiency and cost reduction. Tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum have upset this balance, leading to increased production costs, delays, and job losses. Factories in the U.S. and Canada, relying on the constant flow of materials, are seeing costs spike. This disruption threatens not only large-scale manufacturers but also smaller suppliers crucial for keeping costs low and production lines running. Ironically, the very tariffs meant to protect U.S. manufacturing jobs may end up hurting those workers, as disruptions force layoffs and even factory closures. Canada, understanding this tightly knit supply chain, has made the automotive sector a primary battleground. As this conflict deepens, pressure mounts on the U.S. to reconsider policies and take action before the economic damage becomes irreversible. Trade wars are never just about economics, they have profound political consequences. As American consumers, factory workers, and farmers feel the pinch of rising prices and job cuts, the political landscape in the U.S. begins to shift. What was once viewed as a strategic move to protect American industries is now being questioned by politicians fearing voter backlash. Many U.S. politicians initially supporting the tariffs are reconsidering their positions as constituents feel the pressure. Meanwhile, in Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has taken a different approach. Rather than simply reacting, he has positioned himself as a defender of Canadian sovereignty, using the trade war to rally support for national unity. He's framed retaliatory tariffs not as punitive but as necessary to protect Canadian industries and workers, strengthening political support within Canada as the country braces for longer-term economic consequences. In the U.S., however, the trade war is becoming an electoral issue. Trade policy, once a tool of economic strategy, is now contentious in American politics. While the U.S. has focused on tariffs, Canada holds another powerful economic tool: energy. The U.S. is heavily dependent on Canadian oil, natural gas, and electricity. Canada hasn't fully used this leverage, but the mere possibility of limiting energy exports has sent shivers through U.S. officials. Imagine Canada cutting back on oil shipments to the U.S. This could cause gas prices to soar, leading to widespread economic instability. Northern U.S. states, in particular, could face severe electricity shortages, leaving millions without power. These consequences would far exceed the impact of any tariff. Canada's decision not to deploy this lever suggests it's being held in reserve as a last resort. If Canada uses its energy exports as a weapon, it could dramatically shift the balance of power in North American trade and completely reshape economic relations. What started as a dispute between two neighbors has quickly spread beyond North America, influencing global trade. European nations are adjusting trade policies in response to growing uncertainty, seeking alternative markets and alliances as the U.S. and Canada's conflict escalates. Meanwhile, China is capitalizing on the situation, forging stronger trade ties with Canada to replace lost business with the U.S. Developing countries are also seizing the opportunity to step in where U.S. businesses struggle to compete. As the conflict continues, the risk for the U.S. is clear: it could lose its status as a dominant economic force. This trade war is about more than just tariffs, it's about relationships, trust, and the shifting tides of global power. While high-level strategies and political maneuvering capture headlines, the true cost is being felt by everyday people. Higher grocery bills, unpredictable gas prices, and small businesses struggling to afford imported goods are just the beginning. The ripple effect extends far beyond big industries, touching every corner of daily life in the U.S. and Canada. Job losses in manufacturing, rising costs for essential goods, and uncertainty about the future are now commonplace for many families. The harsh reality is that even if a resolution is reached tomorrow, it will take years for businesses and supply chains to recover. Consumers will continue to feel the impact long after politicians sign an agreement. The key question remains: how long will the American public tolerate these hardships before demanding change? What began as a strategic political move has evolved into one of the most impactful trade conflicts in modern history. The battle between the U.S. and Canada is no longer just about tariffs, it's about global influence, economic power, and the future of trade in North America. Will the U.S. continue to escalate, or will it succumb to mounting economic pressures and seek a resolution before irreversible damage is done? The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences will reverberate for years to come. What do you think? Are we witnessing the dawn of a new economic order, or will cooler heads prevail? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Share them in the comments below. For the latest insights into the automotive world and more in-depth analysis, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.